he came into City on a schools programme. When I say a schools programme, a guy called Terry John, who's now working at Liverpool, but worked for City for nearly 30 years, set up a programme in primary schools in Greater Manchester with coaches, part-time coaches. They went to the primary school each morning or each afternoon. They used to go and visit 2 schools a day, 45-minute fun and balance lesson, it used to be called. And of course, the primary school teachers would love to opt out of teaching a lesson. Yeah. They could go and have a natter. And it was just a case of year 1, no reception, possibly year 2 if it wasn't a big group, a few cones on the floor, dribble round, have a little kick. And what you had to bear in mind was 50% of the class was girls, and then 50% of the people who wanted to play didn't want to play football anyway. So you're down to 25% of the class, really, aren't you? You know.
Yeah.
And the boys that stood out then got invited into Pars Wood Leisure Centre. We used to have a little development centre there one evening a week. So Phil got invited in, came there, and was just a level above everybody else straight away. So we fast-tracked him after a couple of sessions there, fast-tracked him to Platt Lane. And I got talking to Phil Senior, because we at City encourage them to play grassroots football,
right, okay,
at 6 and 7 and 8 until you sign at 9. That's when you get the competitive edge. And Phil wasn't involved with any club, you know, which wasn't unusual, I have to say, like under 7. And obviously living in Edgeley and me living here in Eaton Moor, although it's called Reddish Vulcans, it's primarily run from the middle of Stockport.
Yeah.
So it was just a natural marriage. The second, I think it was either the first, no, it wasn't the first, or the second time he came down to training. We had a little training session. Well, it wasn't little because about 25 kids in it. But then you had a big game at the end. So, and I used to just stand on the touchline. No coaching, no training. Just let them play. So you've got a quarter of an AstroTurf, full-size Astro. So you've got it in 4 quarters. So if you can picture 20 kids, 25 kids, 10 aside, 11 aside, playing in this. It's quite a big area for little ones, with 12 by 6 goals at either end. And off they went. We just used to stand and watch. And the ball dropped. Every time the ball dropped, it dropped to him. Just kept on dropping to him all the time, which is no coincidence. And a dad comes sidling along and stands next to me, and he said, who's the new boy there with the left foot? Where's he come from? And I just went, heaven. and then he joined the team, and we went on from there. Yeah. With Vulcans, I mean, we had lots of things. We played every weekend. So the most famous one, I use famous in inverted commas, but because it's now been on Sky and it's been on BBC News, but we're at Curzon Ashton. So the East Manchester League, which is where Vulcans under 7s and 8s play every Sunday. So we're playing a game there, and you played like 15 minutes each way, 5 aside. And we stood on the touchline, me and Steve, the guy who was running the team with me. And we stood on the touchline, and we just said to Phil, right, we need a couple of goals quite quickly here, because we'd been practicing 1 or 2 little manoeuvres in the training that we did with Vulcans on the Tuesday night. So we just said, if we can get a couple of goals here, then we can just relax. And although there's no league tables, all the managers keep their own league table. You know, so yeah. Anyway, we kick off, goal. Comes back to the middle, no celebrations, comes back to the middle, stands on the touchline, just waiting. Goal, 2 goals. There was a group of parents behind us, mixed in with our parents, because everybody was quite friendly, mixed in. But a parent from the opposition clearly said, you'd pay to watch this, wouldn't you? This. I actually think now, if England win this, and he gets a little bit of a role in that final, I think you'll see a different Phil Foden on the pitch next season. I think he'll be demanding the ball. He has a habit of doing this when he wants the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe not giving it that. I think you'll get that as well.